confusion during morning rush at a Japanese bus station. A man armed with a knife boarded buses and, according to police, started attacking commuters, among them children. Police say 27-year-old Yuta Saito boarded two buses in the town of Toride, which is northeast of Tokyo. Police say he started slashing the passengers. Most of the victims were students commuting to a nearby junior and senior high school. 5 were hurt in the knife attack and 8 others were injured as they tried to flee. The police department says none of the injuries are serious. Other passengers wrestled the suspect to the ground until officers arrived. Now, the attack echoed a more serious, high-profile mass knife killing 2 years ago in Tokyo's Akihabara district. An unemployed 28-year-old man drove his truck into pedestrians, jumped out, and started stabbing people. 7 died and 10 were injured in that incident. Now, despite these attacks, crime in Japan is actually at a 23-year low, according to a recent report from the National Police Agency. Crime this year is down 7% from the previous year, and serious crimes like murder are also down. Kyung Law, CNN, Tokyo.
Okay, let's bring in the latest on WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. As part of his bail conditions, he will have to report to police in Beccles, England every day. Artika Schubert is there on England's East Coast, and she has just spoken to Julian Assange. Artika, what did he tell you?
He did. He just came out briefly to give a statement to the press and spoke to us about Bradley Manning, actually. This is the former Army private who is the alleged source of those leaks to WikiLeaks, and he is now in a military prison in Quantico, Virginia. And basically, Julian Assange gave his support to Bradley Manning, saying that he really doesn't know whether or not Manning is the source of those classified U.S. government documents to WikiLeaks. He says because WikiLeaks software is encrypted in such a way that he does not know the source of the leaks that are coming in. And the first time he heard of Bradley Manning, he said, was when he actually read his name in the paper. But he did give his support to Bradley Manning, saying that as somebody who has spent about a week in solitary confinement in a British prison here, that he very much sympathizes with Bradley Manning's position in Quantico, and that he is hoping that WikiLeaks supporters will also give a lot of their support to Bradley Manning's campaign.
It is an incredible allegation of rape, and in the beginning, double rape reported around the world. In fact, according to Google, if you look on the internet, my name is mentioned in 1/10 of the mentions of the word rape, all the way back to pages about Helen of Troy. So this has been a very successful smear campaign so far, but I think its days are numbered, and people are starting to wonder, is what is claimed really true? And if it is true, where's the evidence? Why has no evidence been provided, even to me and my defense attorneys?
I lost IFB, guys. Well, basically, the thought that you just heard there from Julian Assange was from his statement earlier, where he was basically denying those allegations in Sweden, pointing out that it was a smear campaign. And he also said afterwards that his big concern now is that if he is somehow gotten into Swedish custody, that he could be extradited to the United States on separate charges, possibly involving the Espionage Act. This is all from information they are hearing from their sources. And so that's the bigger picture that Julian Assange is worried about. Christy?
Okay, so Julian Assange making comments on potential extradition, on the sexual allegations, as well as on Bradley Manning. Now, The Independent has been reporting that U.S. authorities are offering Manning a potential plea bargain if he names Assange as a co-conspirator. Was that brought up during questions just now? Did Assange give any response to that report?
I did ask him about that, and basically he said this was the first he had heard about it, but it was something that perhaps he had been expecting, because the United States government has said that they are very aggressively looking to file some sort, looking into whether or not he has broken any laws in regards to these leaks. And this is something that Julian Assange and his legal defense team have been very concerned about. These Swedish allegations, frankly, do seem to be a bit of a distraction for his legal defense team. Their bigger concern is that possible extradition to the U.S. and what kind of charges, if any, the U.S. government plans to press on them.
All right, Tika, thank you very much for that. Tika Schubert joining us live from Beccles, England. Now, still ahead here on Newsstream, the U.S. President Barack Obama praises progress made in Afghanistan, but is that progress being felt by people there? We look at the aid effort in Herat province. Plus, he has successfully courted India, but will Chinese Premier Wen Jiabao, will that deal in Delhi threaten business with Pakistan? And as violence erupts in the Ivory Coast, could the country be on the verge of slipping back into another civil war? We'll be live in Africa with the latest.
As the clouds roll in across the Mediterranean, you'll still find it easy to drift away. Qatar Airways, world's 5-star airline.
Welcome back. Now, Pakistani diplomats often refer to China as an all-weather friend. In arriving there, Chinese Premier Wen Jiabao may be looking to bolster that impression after spending days in a state visit making friends with Pakistan's arch-rival India. Now, that visit culminated in a commitment to $100 billion worth of bilateral trade. Chris Lawrence joins us now from CNN Islamabad. And Chris, Wen Jiabao is there to talk about trade and investment with Pakistan, but to the tune of how much money?
Exactly, Christy. I mean, this is basically about money to the tune of about $20 billion in trade and investments, $20 billion in deals that are on the table for the